Today, in conjunction with the announcement of the Land Cruiser FJ, we've been given special permission to showcase the actual vehicle here. So I'd like to speak with Mr. Uchiyama, the Chief Engineer of the Land Cruiser. Mr. Uchiyama, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Well then,
I'd like to take a look from the front, since it's a Land Cruiser after all. So of course there's the Toyota emblem, and the English Toyota as well.
right, it's got that powerful presence right in the center here.
And as for the headlights, there have been various changes and innovations over the years.
But this time, the design is a bit different. It's done in a C-shaped style.
It seems that the round headlights will also be displayed as part of the concept model.
That's what we're aiming to prepare. But as for the layout, it's very Land Cruiser-like. The functional parts are packed tightly in the center and upper areas, making it look even more like a true Land Cruiser, in my opinion.
It's a slightly more compact Land Cruiser, isn't it?
It's taken on a slightly more compact form, and to be specific, overall, the total length is 4,575 millimeters, which is about 350 millimeters shorter compared to the 250 series. So, in terms of overall length, it's shorter.
And as for the actual width,
the width is 1,855 millimeters. So compared to the 250 series, it's 125 millimeters narrower. It feels a bit smaller on each side. Now, what's important for the Land Cruiser is, of course, how well it can handle rough terrain. When it's more compact, its maneuverability increases. By shortening the wheelbase, it becomes more agile and easier to turn. On rough roads, it can move nimbly and demonstrate its mobility, allowing it to get into all sorts of places. That's what this FJ is all about.
it looks like it would be fun to drive.
We've really condensed the core elements of the Land Cruiser into this model, so I think it's a vehicle where you can directly experience the joy of driving a Land Cruiser over rough terrain.
The bumper looks like it's made for off-road driving.
And the way it's angled upward too. We've made the fenders stick out a bit to give it a solid planted feel, a sense of sturdiness. Even when you look at it from the side, you can see the front overhang. Actually, we've shortened the overhang so the tires are positioned squarely at the front and rear. This means that even when you're tackling rocks or bumps, the tires are the first to make contact. The front and rear corners are dropped, which makes it less likely to get caught on things when maneuvering. It really gives you that boxy, cabin-like feel that's characteristic of the Land Cruiser. If you take a closer look, the design is actually inspired by the very first dice-shaped Land Cruiser. Details like this really make it feel true to the Land Cruiser heritage. Also, the way the low belt line runs smoothly across the body is another distinctive feature.
Even with the 250 series, there was a blue body color option.
We have several other colors available as well, but today we've brought this blue as a symbolic choice. We've prepared some iconic colors like this one.
This is what we call a frame-based vehicle.
Yes, it's a frame-based SUV. The base is the IMV platform, which has been highly anticipated in various regions. We've taken that as the foundation, shortened the wheelbase, and further reinforced it so that it can perform as a Land Cruiser. That's the kind of suspension setup it has.
What exactly is the fundamental reasoning behind utilizing the IMV frame as the robust base for a Land Cruiser vehicle?
Even the Land Cruiser's frame, if we talk about the Land Cruiser's region, it's a frame platform that has been forged and developed over time. But the IMV is also a platform that has been toughened to support life in similarly harsh regions. Both are platforms that Toyota has spent many years refining to support people's lives. So rather than asking which one is better, I think both are platforms that can be used for the Land Cruiser.
Since it's not a monocoque Land Cruiser, even if the upper part gets damaged, it will definitely keep running. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the ladder frame.
Right? And the rear cargo space is also properly secured in the design, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Since this is a two-row seat model, the cargo space is properly secured within this square cabin, and it's not designed with the top dropping straight down. So, the space is well maintained. However, if the rear overhang is long, the departure angle becomes an issue when going off-road. Because the angle for departure would be insufficient when escaping, they've made sure to sharply cut it up and shorten it, ensuring it's suitable as an off-road four-wheel drive vehicle.
It's designed so that it ends abruptly, but with a spare tire on the back.
Of course, it also gives off that off-road vibe, but if you store it underneath, the overall length increases. And when the overall length increases, the departure angle gets compromised. So to ensure a proper departure angle at this size, we've made the rear as short as possible and moved the tire to the back. Since the spare tire is mounted together, that's why the door opens sideways. That's the order in which it was designed. It just so happens that it kind of looks like the 40 series, doesn't it?
This durable spare tire cover is also standard equipment.
This is standard as well.
And the Land Cruiser logo too. Yes, the logo is the same as on the 250 series.
Yes, it gives a unified feel as a Land Cruiser, and they're using it consistently.
And below that, it says Toyota.
Yes, that's right.
It's written there, yes.
It's not the oval logo, but the separate letter Toyota logo.
Now let's take a look at the cargo area.
It's a side opening door, side opening, yes, just like this.
You might think it's pretty narrow, but surprisingly, the cargo space is...
That's right. Since the cabin is solidly box-shaped, the cargo area is also spacious, providing a large open space.
With this side opening design, the opening is actually quite large.
Yes, it really does look big.
Could you please show us the inside a little bit? What kind of interesting and useful features does it have inside specifically?
Well, first of all, the overall feel is that, as with all Land Cruisers, the design is based on a horizontal layout to make it easier to grasp the vehicle's posture, even on rough roads. The switches are not soft touch, but rather solid blind switches placed in intuitive positions so you can find them by feel. That's the overall design concept. After all, it's an off-road vehicle, so right here, this part, everything is within easy reach. For example, the transfer case switch and the differential lock switch are all gathered here, making it easy to control off-road. In the Land Cruiser 250, for instance, these functions have become electronic, but here you can still enjoy manually switching them yourself.
That's how it works, the differential lock.
The rear differential lock.
Yes, the seats do look quite leather-like, but actually they are not real leather.
Rather than focusing on the material, these seats are chosen for their ability to securely hold you in place when driving on rough terrain. While simple, the focus is on making everything functionally usable, so various features are arranged and space is provided accordingly.
That's the impression. The windows are quite
Lowered, right? The belt line is set lower to improve the side view, and the A-pillars are pulled back, so when you look forward, the visibility to the left and right is much better. This ease of visibility is extremely important, so that's something we've paid special attention to with the Land Cruiser. Also, the hood area features a design that's symbolic of the Land Cruiser. The sides are raised a bit to make the edges easier to see. We really value visibility, and when you have good visibility and the car is easy to drive, it also means you don't get tired as easily. I think that's a design unique to the Land Cruiser, which is made for long-distance driving. Of course, it's also meant to be enjoyed off-road, but since this is a modern vehicle, it comes with USB ports so you can charge your devices while enjoying off-roading. And things like the drink holders are properly equipped, just like in any regular car.
What kind of engine does it have?
As for the engine, this time we've chosen a 2.7-liter gasoline engine.
Many people associate Land Cruisers with diesel engines, but for this model,
We decided to start with a gasoline engine. This is an engine that has been thoroughly refined in the Land Cruiser, so we chose it for its proven reliability and solid performance. The idea is to begin with a dependable engine and build from there. The Land Cruiser has always had the grand mission of supporting people's lives, and with that in mind, we wanted to create a vehicle that could support even more people. That's the concept behind this FJ model. So, when we set out to develop the Land Cruiser 250, we focused on returning to our roots. This idea of going back to basics. By re-examining the role of the Land Cruiser, we clarified three major pillars: the 300 as the flagship, the 70 as the workhorse, and the 250 as the model that robustly protects daily life. I believe these three pillars have now become clearly defined. However, lifestyles and communities are becoming increasingly diverse, so the role of the 250 in steadfastly supporting everyday life is more important than ever. With the feeling that we could do even more, we decided to introduce this FJ model as well, as part of the Land Cruiser family, still under the Land Cruiser name.
this time we're releasing it as a Land Cruiser.
Yes.
When people hear FJ, I think many of them immediately think of the FJ Cruiser.
However, I believe that the origins and the intentions behind it are different. For example, the FJ Cruiser was created as an SUV during the SUV boom at the time, designed for young people in North America to enjoy off-roading. I think it was developed as an SUV for that purpose. And this vehicle was created to support the lives of people in various regions around the world, so I think the initial intention behind it is a bit different. This time with this Land Cruiser, we've introduced another Land Cruiser with a different sense of size to support daily life, like the FJ. This Land Cruiser with a different size was developed to support the lives of people in various regions, but I believe it can also be very useful in Japan. I truly think it's a size that can be more than enough to play an active role here. So I really hope that the Land Cruiser FJ is packed with all the great qualities of the Land Cruiser, what we call Land Cruiser-ness. So I hope everyone is looking forward to it. Once it's released, I'd like to share even more details with you all. Please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.